Recording. Okay, good. We are now recording. Everyone can see the correct screen by the sounds of it, which is good. Hello, ladies. How are you all on this beautiful Monday morning? The sun's actually shining.
Yes.
Everyone good? Yep.
Yes.
Big loud
Hi, Miriam.
for the recording. Hi, Miriam, and hi, everybody who's listening later on. I'm just going to mute you all. I'll go through the little summary, and those of you who've done this with me before know that I go through the summary of what we've done over the last 7 days, or what you're still in the process of doing. It's all good. Doesn't matter it doesn't matter if you're day one. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I find that with 7-Day Money Manifestival, I really like people experiencing it all first, and then kind of getting their brain around it a little bit more, because it's stuff that you need to embody. It's not just stuff that, you need to understand. It's stuff that you need to really live. So the way that I've designed 7-Day Money Manifestival is that you experience things and you go, oh, this feels good, or this feels uncomfortable, or this feels weird, or this feels different. And you're really embodying it and starting to notice and become aware of those little energetic and vibrational shifts, because that's what it's all about. Whereas if I just explain it to you, you're going to have like an intellectual understanding, but that's not actually going to help you do it. It's like if I explain to you how to become a fantastic golf player, if you never actually go out on a golf course to kind of experience it, you probably won't be quite that good. So it's about the combination of things. And of course, as you know, visualization, because you can actually visualize yourself being a fantastic manifester. Visualize yourself being somebody who lives in a high vibration. Visualize yourself as being somebody who finds it easy to notice where they're at vibrationally and to make those shifts. So, you don't have to kind of be there to use the stuff to get you there. Okay, that's my little impromptu rant. Let me go through the recap of this week, if I can find my bloody mouse, which keeps disappearing. Okay, cool. 7-Day Money Manifesto. All right, so some of you, like Ali, has done it. This is the 7th time, and I haven't changed my slides very much for the final call, but I think that's a good thing, because I don't know about you, but I need to hear this stuff and a lot of things over and over again to just remember, and to just keep bringing me back to center, and to a reminder of how easy it actually is if we just remember those little simple things that, we need to kind of keep front of mind every day, because life is busy and we get sidetracked. It's as simple as that. And we have a lot of things that we feel are really complicated, so we look for complicated solutions to complicated problems. And we forget that there's some really simple solutions that will kind of take care of everything. So what we've done this week is day 1, we did the visualization, where I explained why visualization is powerful, and I also got you to put together your electronic vision board. Now, I am a big fan of real life vision boards and vision books, which we do, in-person sessions with people who can come to see me in person, because not everybody's in Adelaide, but I'm working on it. So I've got a couple of girls already to go to actually run my workshops in other places, and I think it's really powerful to do things in person, to connect in person, to raise your vibration together, and to be able to do these tangible things in a setting where you're supported. So but for Money Manifestival, we do a virtual vision board, and that's actually quite a cool thing too. And remember that the brief with that is, don't tell us all your wishes and dreams. Actually, pretend that I've time machined and magic wanded you forward, however much into the future, and you are living every dream and more. What would your days actually look like? So it's not so much about, what car do you want, what house do you want, da, 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 da. It's not about the specific things. It's more about, what's your life feel and look like? And that's really powerful. And it actually bypasses a whole lot of the stumbling blocks that get people unstuck along the way. Day 2, we talked about happy habits, because it is all about vibration. And when you're in a high vibration, when you're in a good feeling place, you're actually in alignment with all the things that you desire, because you desire them because you think that you're going to feel so great having them and enjoy them so much, and enjoy that life that you want so much. So if you become a vibrational match to it now, you can actually attract them into your experience. Because remember that thought connects, feeling attracts. And then day 3, we talked about intention and actually bringing the first 2 together to become more congruent and to use it in a more deliberate way and practice just on those little everyday things. So practice on, driving through traffic, getting like a nice easy run through traffic. Practice on, the next phone call or meeting you're going to go to, or whatever it is. Just set an intention of how you want to feel at the end of it, see it as done, connect the 2 up, and then let it go. And the letting it go part is actually a really, really important part of the process. I think I'm in the process of writing a whole book on that. So we did that. Then day 4, we started to talk about limiting beliefs, because they do come up as soon as you start disrupting your old patterns and start to stretch yourself out of your current comfort zone of where you're operating. They're going to come up because your old patterns, your old ways of being, that ego part of you, it sees that as your identity. And when you go to make changes, it feels threatened. And often it'll throw things in your path. And usually the bigger the change you're about to make, the more obstacles you will have thrown at you, because it's like that death rattle, it's that last gasp for air, like in the movies when someone gets shot and then they're lying there and they're still, and the whatever hero or whatever goes up to them to kind of check, and they do the last thing. It's the death rattle, it's that one last gasp for life. And your old patterns are just that. They're just patterns, and they're ingrained, and it's about changing them and actually substituting them and rewiring those patterns into some new, more positive patterns. And the 2 most powerful things are awareness and intention to make that happen. So, people get really stuck on what do I do about these limiting beliefs? They've got me in a death grip, but they don't, because the moment you become aware of them, you've weakened them so greatly. You're shining a light. They're no longer running the show unconsciously in the background. And the moment you set the intention to make a change, you actually give your unconscious a command to go look for ways that can happen. Okay, day 5, we talked about token gestures and just little ways of acting as if, or talking as if, that is even more in alignment with the way you would prefer yourself and your life to be, because your life is just a match and a reflection of what's going on inside of you, of the person that you are. So you need to make sure that it's not just about thinking and feeling that way, but it's also about starting to bring your words and your actions in alignment. And that's really powerful, because it completely disrupts the old habit patterns in your nervous system. You're really like just throwing pebbles in the spokes, and the whole thing's starting to, topple and become really unstable, which is what we want. We want to disrupt the old patterns and install new patterns. So it's all a whole lot of fun, and it's all really powerful. So that's why I can't say often enough, this stuff is so easy, guys, and don't let that get you off track. Just stick with it and remember that it is just the really easy, simple little things that really would do in Money Manifestival. And yes, you can go much deeper into every single one of these, but this is it. And day 6, faith. So knowing that this works and that there is a magic in the universe and there is an intelligence that you are tuned into, and that you do have this powerful unconscious mind that you can completely rewire, and your unconscious mind is your gateway to that universal collective unconscious mind, the magic of the universe. And there's a process that has to happen, just as if you go to a restaurant and you order your meal, you just sit back and you relax and you understand that the waiter has to get to the kitchen, place the order. There's going to be other people's meals getting made first, and then yours will be made. And you just sit back and relax and get excited. And that's really all you need to do here. It's when you get in the way of it and keep disrupting what you've just set in motion and kind of, pulling it back again to the beginning, that's when things take a lot longer than they really need to. And not only that, you start worrying and doubting. So then your vibration's off, your thoughts, your words, your actions, everything's just off off point, and you're actually then activating and setting in motion all the things that you don't want anymore. So faith is a really, really, really important part of this process. And then last but not least, it's taking baby steps, taking some action. And, I talk about baby steps because you don't need to take the big, massive action. You just need to show up. You just need to put yourself out there and know that if you put the rest of you in alignment and you're open, then the magic will unfold, and it'll happen little by little. And, it's all those little things that you don't even kind of notice along the way. And then when you look back one day, you go, it all started with, that conversation, or this person I met just by chance who put me on to somebody else, or whatever it is. So you didn't need to do much to make that happen. You just needed to be in alignment with the outcome that you wanted and put yourself out there without being too attached to, this is what I'm doing because I want it to lead to this and this and this. Because then again, you're micromanaging the process and you're trying to take over the job of the universe. And, I think the universe can do a better job than most of us. So let's just leave it be and do its thing. So I just want to quickly go through this, which is the thoughts become things cycle. So we all know that thoughts become things, but our thoughts, words, and actions are, like I've already said, they're unconscious habits. 95% of what we do, think, and say is completely unconscious and on autopilot, right? And yes, that includes, running our bodily functions and so on, but it's also a lot of the things that we think we're in control of. We're so not in control of them. If you actually sit down and try to monitor your thoughts, they say we have 70,000 a day, you can't do it, and you completely lose track. And in fact, you'll get yourself totally distracted while trying to monitor your thoughts. And that's why meditation can sometimes be so frustrating, because all you're trying to do is sit there and not think for 10, 15 minutes. And how hard can that be? Well, there are times when that can be really hard. And those of you who meditate regularly know that it is a practice, and it is not about having zero thought for all that time. It is about starting to become conscious and more focused. But what we're trying to do is we're wanting to become more conscious of the things that don't serve us and start consciously creating patterns that do serve us. So most people operate like this. They look at what's going on around them, at the things in their life. They develop certain beliefs about how life works. So that then determines how they perceive everything that happens. So if you believe that life is hard, you're going to see everything through that lens. If you believe that life is full of opportunities and lovely people who are happy to help, you will see life through that lens. And the lens through which you view your life, which is based on your beliefs, will determine how you feel about life. If you feel like life is a hard place where you have to struggle, well, you're not going to feel very good. If you feel like life is an amazing place full of incredible people and, amazing synergies, you're going to feel excited and enthusiastic about every single day. And then the way you feel actually determines how you think, speak, and act, which is why I'm so big on saying, look, yes, thoughts become things, but our emotions are really the easy hack and the easy way to take control of that and to know what's going on, because it's so easy to know how you feel. Everybody knows how they feel. Well, most of us. Some people still give you like an answer, I don't know. Some people are really out of touch with their emotions because they've learned to suppress them and ignore them. But, most of us women especially are pretty good at knowing how we feel, at least the ballpark of where we feel, happy, sad, depressed, angry. Like if you can just figure out whether you're in the vicinity of one of those four, it's a good start. So that's how thoughts become, that's how things become thoughts. But thoughts also become things, because this is a cycle, right? So the way you think, speak, and act absolutely affects and determines exactly what you get back out of life. And you just need to look around the world that you live in and, think about the people who think, speak, and act really negatively. They're always on a downer, nothing's right. They get more of that because that's what they expect. That's all they talk about. And that's all anybody else around them sees them as being capable of having. So they're not going to attract the people who give them the opportunity to be anything else. Whereas we all know people who are incredibly positive, empowered, and they see life as full of opportunities, as magical, and their life is magical. So if you want to know what somebody's thinking, just look at what's going on around them, because it's a direct result of how they think. Now, limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs is a bit like this. You know, we carry all the crap from our past and we can't even see where we're going because we're so busy hanging on to it. And a lot of people, most people, I would actually say, are really attached to all their old crap. It gives them their identity and it kind of helps them justify why they are where they are. So, you know, when we do the manifesting masterclass calls or the effectology school calls, and we talk about, you know, I encourage everyone to just say, okay, what's going on in your life? Let's dissect it and see what's going on vibrationally. And everyone has this tendency to give you the whole big backstory of why they are where they are and this thing now is happening. They want to tell you the whole history of it. And that's, you know, that's just kind of how we've all trained each other to be. But what you've got to realize is every time you do that, you're doing like what this woman's doing in the picture. You're carrying all your old crap and you're loading yourself up with it. And, you know, you can't see where you're going and you can't take on new things and do new things because all you're staring at is what you've carried with you from the past, and all you're vibrationally at is what you've carried with you from the past. All you're thinking, speaking, and acting on is the past. So you're just recreating more and more of the same. And when you operate like that, you know, you can't see the problems if you're focused on the solution. So I like these little visual demos because you either focused on one or the other, but you actually cannot focus on both at the same time. Your brain is not wired like that. And that's actually one of its superpowers that you can use, because as you start wiring up what you do want, the old stuff just drops off. So you don't have to go into battle and fight it and wrestle the dragon, right? All you need to do is start getting into the habit of focusing on what you do want, on the evidence of that, on the feeling good place. And yeah, you're going to have, you know, up and down days, and that's fine. That's part of life. That's called contrast. And that's what actually helps us realize what we do want. If we didn't know what we don't want, we'd never know what we do want. If life was just perfect and magical, well, it would get pretty boring pretty quickly because there's nothing to desire. And it's the desire and the wanting to create that new thing, that next thing, that evolution that we're all going through on a personal, individualized level. That's the magic of the world that we live in. Like, that's the cool stuff. So when you actually get better at this and you start to really embrace looking forward at where you're going and getting yourself in alignment with that, when the hiccups and the glitches happen, after a while you actually become grateful for them because you think, wow, that's cool. That makes me clearer on what I do want. And I know that I am the creator of my life. So I can create even more cool stuff out of that. It's going to help me move forward even more. And I know in the beginning of all of this work, that sounds a bit sick and twisted, but it's the truth, right? So, you know, look at where you're at and kind of make this a regular thing that you self-check on, where you go, okay, am I in the habit of focusing on the problem, or am I in the habit of focusing on the solution? Am I in the habit of looking forward at what I do want, or am I in the habit of constantly looking back and justifying where I'm at and, you know, rehashing the past? Because where attention goes, energy flows. It's as simple as that. So if you want to keep focusing on past hurts, past problems, past, you know, lack of money, past struggles, you're going to keep creating more and more and more of that. And, you know, yes, you're going to spend some time focusing on what you do want, but, you know, you can easily see how it's up to you where you want to tip the scales and how much of each you want to choose to focus on. It's all up to you. We are the creators of our lives. It's 100% responsibility. 100% responsibility. And the more time you spend justifying and complaining and saying, oh, but it's not working and look at those people and how come it works for them, the more you're just constantly creating more of the same. So it is your attention that creates it. Your attention flows the creative energy, and it's as simple as that. So, you know, do get in the habit of self-checking. You know, what are you in the habit of thinking, saying, doing, and feeling? What are those automatic patterns you've got running? And remember that where, just going back to limiting beliefs again, it's just a thought that you keep thinking over and over again. A belief is just a thought you've gotten in the habit of thinking to the point that it has become wired into your nervous system, so you're not even consciously aware of it. It's an unconscious pattern in your nervous system. And you can make it conscious, and you can make a conscious decision to let it go, and you can make a conscious decision to wire in a new thought that replaces it, that is more empowering. Because your beliefs create what you get out of life. Okay, you create your reality. Remember that. And when you operate from this point of view, where you actually go, okay, it all starts with me, then it's easy to see how you can take control of it. If you see the things as the end point rather than the starting point, and this is a cycle, then you have complete control, complete empowerment. And the fact that this is a cycle is just a constant reminder that it's not a one, do once and forget about it thing. You don't do Money Manifestival once and then go, okay, my life will change forever. It's a daily thing. It's a minute by minute thing. It's a constant, never ending cycle. And most people are just busy cycling around on pretty much the same thing. You know, there'll be a little bit of up and down, but overall not a big change, because they don't change where they flow their energy. They don't change what it is they focus on. So they keep creating their reality, but it's kind of more or less the same reality. It's Groundhog Day, right? So you are an electromagnetic being. You attract things, which means you don't need to go out there, grab them by the throat and reel them into you. You don't need to, keep placing the order to the universe over and over again. Attraction means things come to you. And so that means that you need to become a little bit more hands-off and just focus on being the magnet. Because if you can just focus on being the magnet, then that's it. The work is done. And this is my version of how that all looks and works in, how we operate, is that, and when we do the intention setting thing, I kind of take you through this process. You want to align your electrical thought energy with your magnetic heart energy and make it congruent with the way you act, so that all of that in sync is what creates your reality. Your personality determines your personal reality. That's a Joe Dispenza quote, and I think it's brilliant. Your personality determines your personal reality, and all your personality is the way you think, speak, act, and the beliefs you hold. That's pretty much it, right? So most people don't get this, that we're this attraction machine, and that if you can be in alignment and remember that emotion is energy in motion and you're the magnet in that picture, that's it. That is the work. So in effectology school and in the workshops, we go into it further and, add actual more practical ways of doing that and getting back to it. But if you just remember to self-check, that's going to get you a very, very long way. It's just needing that constant reminder, which is why it's so helpful to be in communities, like this, where everybody reminds each other and you just get the constant daily drip feed of, even just somebody posting about their winks or evidence. It reminds us to keep looking for our winks and our evidence. And remember that your winks, you're totally manifesting those, and they're your training wheels. And if you can manifest a wink, you can manifest anything, because the universe doesn't discriminate and go, oh, well, this is harder and that's easier. In fact, we're the ones who discriminate. And by doing that, we make it harder because we believe it's harder. So our energy and the rest of us is in accordance with that. So the more you believe something's hard, the harder it's going to be. It's all a self-fulfilling prophecy. Cool. So just go past this again. So these are the basics, but the basics are everything. So you want to make sure you visualize. Visualize every day. You just need to do 4 minutes. Do it for the fun of it. Do it to actually move on to point 2, which is using your emotions, getting yourself in a high vibing place so that you're a match to all those things you desire that are high vibing things. And then set intentions and make your intention setting about
getting in alignment between your thoughts and your feelings, seeing the outcome is done and letting go. And that's a beautiful little mini practice that you can do on the smallest things, just like your winks, little intentions throughout the day on lots of different little topics will make a huge difference. They will help you practice and develop this muscle and get better and better and better. And before you know it, you'll just be living and breathing this without even thinking about it. Ditch and switch limiting beliefs. So become aware of them. Don't be afraid of them. Voice them if you can. Go, oh, I've just realized. And when you say it out loud and when you type it into the group, there were so many people this week who went, oh, now that I'm kind of saying it and speaking it, it just sounds ridiculous. And that's great to actually do that and kind of shine the light on it, because then it's not this scary little, ghost under your bed anymore. And when you make the conscious decision that this no longer serves me, I'm ready to let it go. And you can add, I may not know how, but I'm willing. If that helps you feel a little bit less, out of sync with, oh, how am I going to let this go? It's running the show for so long. You can add that little line, and that helps you take the edge off and stay in a better vibration. And then remember to switch it and go, well, what do I want instead? Because every time you let something go, you want to replace it with something better, something more empowering. So think about, that little pattern's taken up this space in your nervous system, this little neural pathway. It's been firing and firing and firing. So sometimes at the end of a one-on-one session with me, when we've removed a limiting belief, people will kind of feel a bit lost. They'll go, yeah, that feeling like you've left the house and you've forgotten something, or something is missing that you always have with you and you can't figure out what it is. It feels a bit like that because it's something that's been a part of you for so long, and you go, oh, it just feels weird, like there's just something missing that I'm so used to having there. So the next important part after letting it go is to actually replace it with something new and empowering. And you know how to do that. Visualize and use your emotions. That wires in your neural pathways. It's easy as that. Make the token gestures. That helps support it. It helps break the old ones and support the new ones. And remember, token gestures isn't about, going maxing out your credit card on a new Ferrari, if your limit allows it. It's about just little things that don't even have to cost you money. And words are really powerful because we all hypnotize ourselves and each other with our words every single day. So they are powerful. And remember to have faith, which means you just stay out of the way, let it do its job, and just show up and keep taking the little baby steps along the way. So this is really powerful stuff. And if you really got stuck into Money Manifestival and these 7 days, you would have gotten a lot out of it. And I would say more than you ever expected to get in 7 days. It starts to make really massive shifts. So if you want to go further with me, I'd love you to. We've got Thoughts Become Money Things bootcamp coming up. It starts on the 24th of July. And basically, if you thought Money Manifestival was great, this is where we really go deep. So what I do in the boot camp is it goes for 10 days. So it's basically 5 days, a weekend break, and then another 5 days. And we go fast because we actually do really go into the limiting beliefs and work on unhooking the old ones, wiring in new ones. So in boot camp, I actually have a few really specific hypnosis audios and worksheets that I get you to use that are really designed to do that. So it is going to be a bit confronting because you will shine a light on some of your deepest, darkest limiting beliefs. But don't worry, we don't stay there very long. We just go there long enough to shine the light and go, right, got you. You're getting the flock out of here, right? So we talk about your money habit archetype, like what are your money patterns and where do they come from, and just becoming aware of that, because when you become aware of a habit, you automatically start to weaken it, because a habit is automatic and unconscious, and when you become conscious of it, that weakens it straight away because it's been brought up from the unconscious. So that's a really powerful thing, to just even become aware of that money habit archetype, and then we match it up with some of the beliefs that feed it, so that you can see, okay, I've got this pattern where I'm always overspending, or I spend everything that comes in, and I can see what belief patterns are lying underneath it. And then we go in and we actually dig them out. We rewrite your money story. We do a whole lot of really cool stuff. But we use a lot of hypnosis, because hypnosis goes straight into the unconscious and allows you to make those changes at a really deep level. And when you make those changes at that level, at the level of your being, they are permanent, and you permanently up level and rewire your mind. And what I really love about Money Bootcamp, Thoughts Become Money Things Bootcamp, is that you get to stay in it. So you get to do it over and over again, because as you know, this isn't like a do it once, forget about it kind of deal. This is I'm going to keep growing and evolving, and as I grow and evolve, there are going to be other things that are not serving me that I'm going to want to let go of. So you get to come back and do it over and over and over again. What else? So it runs a bit similar to Money Manifestival. It's in a Facebook group, and that's where all the lessons are, but you do get access to the recordings and all the worksheets and all the audios on the Effectology School website in the members area, and you have access to those basically forever. And we have 3 live Q&A calls. So there's one at the start to just get you set up and make sure that you know what you're doing. We answer any questions and talk about how it's going to run and get you started. Then there's one at the midway point where we recap everything we've done in that first week and get you ready for the second week. And then there's one at the end where we wrap it all up again. If you want some one-on-one help, that's available at half price when you do boot camp. So you can have 2 sessions with me for the price of 1. So that's really cool. And yeah, like I said, you get to stay in it for life. So those of you girls who have done boot camp before, I've had a few messages going, I want to do boot camp again. Where do I enroll? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay again. You don't have to enroll again. You're already in it. I'll send out another reminder email so that you've got your log-on details in case you've forgotten them, and when we start and all of that. But no, you don't have to pay again, and you don't have to enroll again. You're in it for good, and you get to do it over and over again. And yeah, there's testimonials if you want to look into that on the webpage where you sign up. And you know, I will say, I want to be really upfront. It's not fluffy. Like, we do go deep, and you've got to be willing to go there. And like I said, I don't keep you there for longer than we need to, but you might have a couple of really uncomfortable days, but that's necessary so that we find those old patterns, unhook them and replace them. And by the end of it, you're going to feel like you've had this amazing makeover, which you will literally have had. So someone's going to win a free spot on that in a moment. Obviously somebody who's not in it yet. And that's really cool, because it is going to double in price when I next launch it, because I've had to go through all my programs on revamping the memberships for Effectology School, and Bootcamp is at least half what it should be, I realised. So it is going to double in price. So whoever wins that spot's going to do really well, because they get to stay in it forever along with everybody who's already in it. It is $147 US at the moment. So I will ask you all, those of you who are not yet in boot camp who would like to join us and be in the running to win that spot, can you please go to the chat box and just type your first name in the chat box, because I'll go on random.org in a moment and I'll draw a name as to who's going to be the winner of that, which is very exciting. Jade, cool, because I know a lot of you are already on it. I'm not even sure how many people are, oops, I want to do that. I don't even know how many people are on the call today, actually. But yes, a lot of you are already in it, but that's cool. So yeah, starts Monday 24th. I'll do the prize draw in a moment. Make sure you pop your name in there. And just also letting you know that what I'm going to do for the rest of you is I'm going to reopen the early bird just for a day, or make it 2 days, because some people will be wanting to watch the recording. So I'll reopen the early bird for the rest of you. If you don't win the spot and you want to join us, you can do it with the early bird, which is incredible, because next time around it's going to be triple that price. So, and like I said, you get to stay in it forever. So that's really cool. To check it out, go to, hang on, let me pop this in the chat box for you. Whoops, it's not what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I'll give you the link so that you can check it out. Who's on the call that's done boot camp?
Carrie, you're an effectology mastery student, so that means you get everything, basically, absolutely everything, and my company for a year. Okay, that's the link for the rest of you if you want to go check it out. Maybe just click on that and have it open so that you can look at it later on. And who's on the call that's done boot camp before? Who have I got? I can't see my participants. Who have I got? You haven't done it before, Carrie, have you? This will be your first one. Oh, Kelly, you've done. Oh, Kelly can't talk. I think Kelly's the only one on the call who has done it before, and I think she got quite a bit out of it. So anyway, how many have we got? Let me just check the names. I'll do this bit and then I'll open it up for questions. So Jade, Annie, Emma, Julie, 3. Oh yes, Emma, you're already doing boot camp because you won that. That's right. Kelly's packing for Bali. Yay! You're living the life. All right, so I've got 2 entrants, right? Oh no, I have got 3. Jade, Annie, and Julie. All right, bear with me. Hang on. I'm going to do this 2-screen thing. Lost my mouse again. Okay, where is my... Hold on, I'll go to random.org. Jesus. Okay. So I'm just going to put this in the random number generator. Number 2, who's the second name on the list? Let's check. Second name on the list was Annie. Annie, woohoo! You've got the spot in boot camp. Yay! Oh, Francesca. Sorry, I'm going to do the number generator again because I only put, sorry, I know the judges will probably have to discuss this one, but I only put numbers 1 to 3 in, and then we had a 4th person. Sorry. It still came up as number 2. There you go, Annie. It was meant to be yours. I love that. That's cool. Thanks, universe. Got me out of a pickle because I thought, oh no, what if somebody else wins it now? Alrighty. So let me just get you guys off of the... Well done, Francesca. Sorry, Annie. Sorry, Francesca. At least you got your name on the list at the last minute. So you're in the running for it. Now, let me figure out how to do this bit. It's 2 screens things. Really pain in the bum. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and try and get you guys on my other screen so that I can see you. There we go. Now I can see you all. That's helpful. Okay, let me just unmute everybody. Okay, cool, good. Hello, everyone. Here's
Hi, Miriam.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, laptop's about to go flat, Jade. Okay, no worries. You're welcome, Jade. Lovely to have you on the call. Cool. So, does anybody have any questions of what I went through just then? Any questions, comments, anything that you like, oh, I didn't get that before, or I get it now, or I still don't get it, or anything at all? Because I'm here and I'm happy to answer any questions and say how
I
do we
just wanted to ask one more thing.
Yeah.
Just the token gesture.
Gestures,
Yeah, wasn't. I don't know, like, because I got behind a little bit because I got stuck on day 4 when ditch it.
Yeah. Funny that.
Yeah. Well, and I've been a bit sick, and I was like, yeah, it kind of was like I had written it all down, but then I didn't post it. It was like something like I couldn't do it or something. So
interesting, huh?
Yeah.
So hang on, I'm just going to hit mute for a second just to get the background noise down for the recording. So I thought I hit mute, but maybe I didn't. Sorry, I'm just going to answer that and then I'll unmute you again, Emma. So number 1, really like people do
with this or anything, they hit blocks often, not blocks, but suddenly, like, you're doing it and then suddenly life gets busy and you're off track and you stop doing it. And there's always excuses and reasons, but what's going on unconsciously, right? Subconsciously, like you've been pulled off track, and like you said, you even had it all written and ready to go, and then it just didn't happen. So that's really interesting. And don't beat yourself up over it. Just go, oh yeah, nice try, guys. That's my old limiting beliefs. Like, they don't even want me to post them in the group and like shine the light on them. Like they're trying to distract me and keep me busy and throw other things at me. So that's really cool. Just noticing that that's happening is powerful, because like I said, it's unconscious, but when you become consciously aware of it, straight away you're weakening that pattern. So that's a good thing, right? You're aware that that's happened, and you've even voiced that that's happened. Beautiful, powerful. So for you, or for anyone who hasn't, who got stuck along the way, you get to stay in Money Manifestival. This group stays open. We're all still here until the next time I run it, which is usually 6 to 8 weeks or thereabouts, right? So you've got 6 to 8 weeks to go through 7 lessons. I think you'll be all right, okay? So we're all here, and actually what happened last time at the end of Money Manifestival is there were a few girls who were only just getting started or who wanted to do it again, and they went, well, let's all just start again from day one and do it as a little group together. And I'm still there as well. So, and everybody else still sees your posts, so they can support you. So just keep going. The pinned post has all the lessons. Just keep going. I had somebody message me yesterday saying, oh, is it too late to join in? And I said, well, you can if you want to, because we're still there and the lessons are all there. It's not quite the same as having that energy of doing it live and the lesson coming out every single day, especially if you're starting from zero, but it's still there. So for you, just keep going. Refer to the pinned post for the lessons on each day so that you understand what it is, and just keep posting. Really, please do. It makes me so happy when I see people who keep going and keep working through it. This is why I do this work, to help you guys and to get you guys through this process. So it's awesome. So with the token gestures, that's, there's obviously a lesson there that you can listen to, like the daily video and the text to explain it. But in a nutshell, token gestures is about the things we do on a physical level. So, we've talked about thoughts and emotions, which are all internal things. So on a physical level, the way you speak and the way you act, you want to start doing little things that match, what's on your vision board. So if on your vision board, there's somebody who's really active, who's outdoors all the time, who's in the sunshine, and you just sit inside working at the computer 24/7, that's not a match, right? So you want to make sure that you do get out and enjoy some sunshine, just stand in the sun and just pretend that that's something you do constantly, like on your vision board. So that's an example. Or if you're somebody who wants to be really abundant and just be able to buy whatever they want to buy without even looking at the price tag, then just go to the supermarket and buy something without looking at the price tag. Don't go into David Jones Designer Wear and buy a dress there without looking at the price tag, but go down the toilet paper aisle and just buy toilet paper without checking the price. Okay, so it's about the little things that you wouldn't normally do that are just more of a match to how you do want to operate, so that it actually also disrupts your nervous system. It's literally like a little pattern interrupt in your nervous system where it's oh, she doesn't usually just do that. Usually she kind of gets out the calculator. And I'm saying this because I was at that stage of my life once where I didn't have the calculator out because I was too embarrassed. I used to do it in my head. But I'd go, okay, how much is that one versus that one? What am I up to in total? So just actually walking in and grabbing some toilet paper because that looks nice and my bum's going to enjoy that and I don't care what it costs is a powerful pattern interrupt. Sorry, I always have the worst examples. So hopefully that explains it a bit, but the lesson should explain it too. I've just unmuted you, Emma. So does that make sense? Does that help and answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. That really helped. Thank you. I just had to jump and wash someone's hands because they were yelling at me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Cool.
That really makes sense. Yeah.
So welcome.
Yeah, it's interesting how you notice, when that sort of stuff comes up, when you just fall off the bandwagon kind of thing.
But that's really cool, right? You're noticing it. So you've uncovered something. Like, get excited. Don't get disheartened by it. Like, get excited, because you're actually noticing the ways that your old patterns are undermining you. And that's powerful. You're becoming aware. You're becoming self-aware and conscious.
Sorry, I really resonated with what you said about like carrying the baggage. Because I'm quite positive and mindful. Well, I think I am. But then when you were saying that, I probably bring up my past a bit too much. Like I just noticed in a phone call I had this morning, I did that exact thing, and I probably didn't need to. Yeah. But it's like I'm using it to justify where I am. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. I think I'll be more aware of that next time. So.
Yeah, this is what we do. We use the past to justify where we are and kind of to excuse why we're not where we want to be, right? And so we go, oh, it's because, I've been through a divorce, or I've been through this, or I've had that, or I've got kids, and so we use it to justify where we are, but in that process, we're actually creating more of the same. And we don't need to justify where we are. We are where we are. It's all good. It's all good. And wherever you are is the start of where you're about to go. So it's a good, beautiful thing. And just becoming aware of that, again, is really, really powerful. So it's all good. It's all good.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right. I'm going to just ask. Oops, sorry. Who was that? Sorry. Did I just mute you, Emma, when you were going to ask something, or was that somebody else? That wasn't you. I've got Julie's hand is up, so I don't know who just said, can I just ask? I'm not sure whose voice that was. Was that you, Julie?
No.
No, it doesn't matter. Your hand is up. We'll figure it out in a moment. It might have been Annie, maybe. But your hand's been up for a while, so I just wanted to come to you and ask and see what your question was, sorry. Or did you mean to raise your hand? Yes?
No. I was looking how to join the chat.
Oh, okay.
I've never used this before, so this technology is all new to me.
Oh, well, you're doing great, because you even worked out how to raise your hand. I didn't work that out for like a year.
So, Miriam?
Yep, so no questions from you, Julie?
Oh, not at the moment, thanks.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay, I'll let you go, and I'll talk to Annie for a second. Hang on. Oh, let me unmute you again. Oh. Hi, Annie. How are you?
Hi, Miriam. Excellent. Thank you. And thanks for my chance to join the boot camp.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, I love all this stuff. So what I'm learning is it's all about setting a very clear intention, but it's also putting the emotion into it, and then just setting it once and then just forgetting about it.
Yeah,
that's what I have trouble doing.
So you want to be really congruent. You want to set that powerful intention and know that you've placed the order. And then, so that's about connecting, right? So when I say thought connects, you want to connect with it. And then it's just about remaining the magnet, which means let it go, leave it alone, because if you keep placing the order,
think about it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can be excitedly expectant, but that's really different to, oh, I wonder when it's coming, hasn't arrived yet, what's going on, have I done it wrong, maybe I should do it again, maybe my affirmation's not quite right, oh, I didn't meditate yesterday, is that why it's taking,
Yeah. Yes.
So just stay excitedly expectant, stay in a high vibing place, go have some fun. I often find that when something's just not working for me, how you get bogged down and it's like, this is not working. And then you just take yourself.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah. You take yourself for a walk or a holiday or a day off, and suddenly everything just magically falls into place because you got out of the way. You took that, you were the resistant component to it all. Like you were the plug that was just stopping the flow because you were in there like, and then when you pull the plug out and the plug goes and takes a holiday, everything can just flow.
Okay, gotcha. Right. Yeah. Thanks, Miriam. It's been terrific. I've loved this last 7 days. I haven't completed it yet, and I struggle with my wink. soccer ball.
Yeah.
Don't know where that came from. But I saw it out of the corner of my eye again yesterday. It was interesting. I was at my niece's house and she doesn't have children, but there was a soccer ball in the yard. And come over the fence. So it's like, whoa.
So again, make it a game. Stay excitedly expectant. Oh, I wonder where I'll next see a soccer ball, you know?
Yeah.
Surprise me, universe. Like, surprise me, shock me. Like, let me know that you're playing this game with me.
It's interesting, isn't it? Fun.
Yeah. And that helps you practice exactly the answer to your previous question. You know, practicing on your winks. If you can do it with a wink, you can do it with anything. So the wink helps you practice that fun, easy, unattached, excitedly expectant state that you want to be in, that high vibing state where you just expect it. And when it comes, it's like, yeah, I knew you were coming and that's kind of cool. I like the way that arrived.
So the wink sort of getting through the reticular activating system as well, isn't it? Is that what's that through the filter? It's like, as you said once, seeing an orange car.
Correct.
That was at our visual at the Alma.
That's right.
Or just thinking about a car, for instance, a brand of car. Like, you know, I've been thinking about the Subaru XB. I see them everywhere now.
See?
It's just coming through the filter. Right.
That's right. It's no different to a wink. When you decide that this is what I'm looking for and this is what I expect, you'll see it everywhere. Whereas when you go, I really want to see this everywhere, but I'm worried I won't, that's really different.
Okay. Yeah. Just let that go. Don't think like that. Sure.
Yeah. Excitedly expectant. That's a really good kind of way to be. Cool.
Excellent. Thanks, Miriam.
I'll see you in boot camp.
Yes.
I'll send you a link and a code so that you can sign up and register and all that. Okay.
Thanks, Miriam. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye for now. Does anybody else have a question? Just unmute yourself even if you want, or type in the chat box. Anyone else have a question or a comment? Actually, I'm just going to ask Carrie a question. Pick on you, because I know how much you love it.
Yeah, I do.
Your hair looks lovely, by the way. I like your hair down.
I just washed it and I haven't had time to tie it up yet.
It looks lovely. We never get to see it down. So this is your second or third boot camp? Third. Cool. Third, yeah. So
I was just checking out all my diaries because I write things every day about what I see, and I just love it. It's in its, to me, Manifestival it's in its simplest form, and you know me, I like it. Fancy words and whatnot don't mean anything to me. If you see it, if you believe it, it will come. Simple
exactly.
As that.
And that is, and I think I said it's your third boot camp. I meant your third Manifestival. That is why you're such a great manifester, because you don't get bogged down too much in the detail. Like, you just feel it, you enjoy it, you understand that it's all about feeling good and having fun.
Yeah.
Like, that's as simple as it is.
I've just written it down. I don't know how many times while you're talking, and I can't find it. Just a minute. That the personality determines your personal reality. Well, you know me, if I'm smiling, then that's me. And it's only if I let something else come in, and now I'm like, I'm not going to let you in. So, and be it right, be it wrong, it's certainly right for me. And I'm not worried about what anybody else thinks anymore. And it's just, right, if you hear all those birds singing, are they in your garden or mine? Yeah, that's my wink.
Yeah, they're yours. They're yours. So the question I had for you is third time around, because I think apart from Kelly, you're the only repeat on the call as well. So it's interesting, because normally there's a lot of repeaters on the call, but they're probably sick of my same PowerPoint. Or they're just going to watch the recording later. So from the first time to now, what do you think has been the biggest shift just from Manifestival? Because you've done other stuff with me, you know, but just from Manifestival, what do you think has been the biggest shift for you? The biggest switch and change?
There's absolute belief in it. I don't need to question it anymore. Whereas, the first time I'm thinking, oh, is it really happening? And then it just carries on. And I never come out of it. That was the comment that I put as well. This is like a lifelong thing to me. And everything now is just, I see winks of a day, I put it in. I do a bit of evidence, I put it in. And it's just
because that keeps me high vibing. So I just see, and it's become completely natural. I don't think about it. I don't go home and go, oh my God, what day is it? Did I do today's thing? It just flows, and it's just, any day can be anything, and there's always something happening to share. That's the thing as well. Keep sharing it. Keep sharing it. I live off everybody else's wings. I see someone else's feather. Feather's not mine, but I'll go, and I'll have a laugh at that one because I know whose it is. Or I see a rainbow, and then the other day I got a little girl who was boarding a flight because it was going to be a bit bumpy and whatnot, to have a look at the rainbow, because I said, well, if we didn't have this stormy bit here, we wouldn't have the rainbow here. And then that's not my wink either, but I liked it for somebody else. But I just use everybody. I jump on every good thing of everybody's now. I don't think about it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, and seeing everybody else's is important, and sharing them with each other is important, because it keeps us all connected and reminds every single one of us. So it keeps us all connected to what it is we are personally doing. And when you share it with other people, it reinforces it to yourself. So you are actually then wiring in your new patterns and ways of thinking as well. So I don't ask you to share stuff just for my benefit because I'm nosy. I ask you to share stuff because then you're actually embodying it and really, taking it on. Very goodly. Okay, cool. So does anybody have any final questions before I let you go? I know we went over, but I'm always happy to stay longer and answer questions. Everyone good? All silent? You're good? Excellent. Well, congratulations again, Annie, for winning the spot on Thoughts Become Money Things Bootcamp. Super excited for you. It's going to be awesome. It is really, really powerful. And like I said, if anybody else wants to check it out, I've opened the early bird again. It'll be open till tomorrow night, so about 48 hours. And so jump on there if you want to check it out and join us. I'd love to see you there. Okay, have a beautiful day. Lots of love. Bye for now. Of course, I can't find my mouse now to end the call. See ya.